Hi, everybody. Welcome. So we are doing business readings tonight. So I wanted to give just a really quick introduction. We do have the first person in queue. So if you guys are showing up and as you're joining and hopping on, make sure that you put your name in the comments. Let me know if you want a reading so that Solange can help you out. And then we have somebody actually in our little backstage virtual waiting area that we're going to pull in to do the first reading. So just wanted to share a little bit about what this is about, what kinds of topics you might want to get ready for the reading. And yeah, we'll just dive into it. So I am Ashley Bradley. I'm an intuitive business coach. So everything that we bring here in this space in terms of readings is business related. So the way that I'm really holding that term business is anything about business, career, money, purpose. Those are all fair game. I know sometimes people will find me, through the internet and see cards and they want to go in the route of love or romance. I don't really feel like I am your best option for a reading in that area, but business, career, money, purpose, anything in that range. And I always love to have a question that lets us go in a few different directions. You're going to get your best reading and the most information if we can add a little bit of spaciousness and possibility to the question. Yes, no questions tend to not be as powerful. And there is so much going on with free will choice that it's not really going to have kind of the energy that's really going to be beneficial to you long term. Although I know we love certainty. I totally get that. But yeah, so those are just a little bit of things around what kinds of questions you might want to get ready. Because when we do get to your turn, then I'll ask you at that point, hey, what's your question? What do you want a reading about? So start thinking about that. If you are just hopping on now, we're about to dive into our first reading, and then we're going to get the queue going. I have Solange that is able to help me in the comments to arrange the order. We do have someone that's going first. Oh, I totally feel like without my glasses, I was calling you Mary instead of Marie. I'm so sorry. But we do have Marie that is going first, and then we'll start getting the order going after that. So the way that it works is I get to as many people as I can in the hour, and Solange, who is helping out, she's going to give you a number, and so that we can let Spirit get involved in choosing what order and who we go to. And really sometimes you might even hear other messages in the meantime that you were really meant to hear and absorb as well. So that's the magic of all this. But she will give you a number, and so I'll kind of know what order we're up to, and I'll choose the number, and so that's how we're diving in. But give it a share. If there's somebody that you know that might benefit, tag them. Give me a little kind of follow here so that you can find me next week, since it's every Tuesday. But yeah, I think that's the short and sweet about what we're doing here. Hi, Carl. Hi, Amber. So I'm going to pull in Marie. I'm going to bring you in. So we're going to go first, and then Solange will help us out to see who's next. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I can't hear you super loud. Maybe it's just it's a little bit quiet. And do you have headphones on?
I do.
Okay, good. Perfect. Sorry, I just realized when I was looking at your name, I was calling you Mary instead of...
I've been called worse.
Okay, good. Well, what do you want to do a reading on? What should we pull some cards on?
I am very new to FBA, and I want to be my own business owner. And I'm feeling very nervous and scatterbrained.
Yeah. Okay. This sounds it almost sounds like a perfect coaching topic, and I want to pull in some wisdom with that as well. What is it that you're desiring more of? And we're going to set that as our intention for what we pull cards on. More focus.
Solid. Well, yeah, focus, because I need a solid income. This is going to be my income.
Okay, so focus and money. So that's what I'm hearing we're wanting to pull things in about, is sort of focus and money around this FBA Amazon business. Okay. Have you had a reading before?
No.
Okay. Okay. Yay. So here's what we're going to do. We will pull a card on that, but I always like to have you set the intention as well, because I just really kind of get quiet and get kind of tuned into you and see what I'm feeling before we pull the card. But just set the intention. If you have any angels that you like to work with, anybody that you think of as kind of supporting you lovingly from the other side, just ask for them to come forward. We all have a guide that's with us, at least from birth. We usually have some kind of way that we think about, whether it's an ascended master, universe, source, God, whatever that is for you. Just hold that intention in your heart that they're also stepping forward, because there's really no coincidences when we pull the cards of what shows up for us. Everything is going to show up and really work through me to bring a message through. I feel like something already wants to show up because I feel like a little tingling in my voice. That's why I had to grab the water. So yeah, there's a lot of things I think that want to show up for you, but we're going to keep it just in the realm of money around this FBA business and any wisdom that's going to really help you be successful, or anything that you might want to maybe you'd find useful right now to be finding yourself in that business. Okay, so I'm going to get quiet, Marie, and just tune into you and set that intention. Really hold that in your heart, okay? Okay. Just like to put in a little music so there's not too much awkward silence on the internet. And just telling you this as well, since I know sometimes people have like a little bit of like nervousness or uncertainty with readings. I mean, I have the bright pink writing and the rainbow lightning bolts, so I'm sure that you don't really find me to be a person. That feels very scary, but I know sometimes people have some feelings around readings, but everything is really coming through in like your greatest and highest good. It all comes from the place of love. So I just wanted to share that, or maybe there's someone else that needs to hear that as well. Okay. I'm just pulling 2 cards for you. Well, 3 wanted to come through. Okay. So the first card, this King of Air, it has a lot to do with your intellect and mind, which it really seems like you were asking a question from the place of mindset. I think you probably connect me with that mindset aspect as well, of course, but it's talking about speaking your mind with confidence, seeking out professional advice, and also balancing mental and emotional considerations. And so that's the one that I really want to look at with you, is the balance between the mental and the emotional, because I feel like there's a lot of big emotions around this, and the mental blocks that are showing up, which that's why I was saying, oh my God, I feel like this is like so much more of that coaching topic for us to kind of clear any of that stagnant energy out. And so I know that we like to think of it in terms of like mindset as our thinking. We like to dig into it. We like to understand it. But for right now, I also just want to really hold it as like an energy, really hold it as things that are there, beliefs that you have, that instead of feeling like, oh, we have to work really, really hard to get rid of it, that we can actually shift into it very quickly. Because I do think that you have that ability. And I feel like I see a few different times in your life that once you like get that part figured out, that I see you moving forward really quickly, but it's almost like there's a little bit of a struggle in the beginning and then you hit your stride. Would that make sense for you?
Yeah, oh yeah, big time.
Okay. So I feel like first off, it's like they're bringing that in because they're wanting to remind you of that, and to know that hey, we've been here before. This is kind of our pattern. This is our cycle. Be aware of it and know that you don't have to kind of resist or struggle, but that your job is to kind of really only slightly shift. Like think about it as if changing the channel, like on a radio, and that's how you're tuning to a different frequency where you're seeing something from a slightly different vantage point and then feeling completely different about it. And it puts you in a more balanced mental and emotional state. So as Abraham Hicks would say, and if you ever listen to YouTube, I'd highly recommend Abraham Hicks. They're always talking about reaching for the better feeling thought. So it doesn't have to be a far reach of, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire by next week, but really just the thing that would feel slightly better. And so this is the first card, and there's a few others that I wanted to bring forward for you. So right now you were feeling like kind of a place of uncertainty. Like if you were going to really just tune into something you could feel certain about, it actually might be about you. Of you felt very certain of, yes, I know that when I hit my stride, then I am able to move forward. I know that every time I put my mind to something, I move forward with great power, and I've always reached my goals. And like really just putting your focus on that rather than the part that you don't know or can't be certain of, because I do feel like that makes a really, I mean, it makes a big difference for everyone, but that's really what they're bringing through for you right now so that you can make it fast. And sometimes I feel like you make up the story that, like it's such a big mountain, you know, it's such a big mountain, and they're trying to be
And
like,
I hyper dissect it to make it smaller.
Yes, yes. Um, there's okay. There's a few animal cards that are coming in. This wombat spirit about being at home, and this bobcat spirit, which is life being a mystery. So watch for the having to like kind of dissect and know everything, because I think that sometimes it's hard for you to get behind things, even like spiritual things, because your mind like is just like, well, how does this work, and like show me how it operates. And I feel like when you do kind of embrace sort of the mystery, and you kind of I feel like kind of like how you're doing now, I feel like there are positive things that show up for you, and you're able to have a greater relationship with your own like inner being, soul self. And that really, I feel like, has been a positive thing for you throughout your life. And just really get comfortable, I want to say, like finding your safety, like working on the root chakra, working on that you are safe, that because that's like ultimately the thing that before the success can come, we have to feel safe. And that's a big thing that's going on right now. I mean, in the world in general, and it's triggering a lot of different things within all of us. And I just want to bring that through for you specifically, to like feel that safety in your own body, feel that safety in your own environment, because that's going to really be powerful for what you are able to manifest. So I'll leave you with that. But thanks, Marie.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Solange.
Hi.
So what are our numbers here?
We have number 1 and number 2, but I'm just reading that Amber, which was number 1. I think
Okay,
that
so number
should go.
2.
So,
Is that Crystal?
Crystal, exactly.
Okay. Well, Amber, hopefully next time. Oh, you don't have to be on camera, Amber. We'll start with Crystal, but if you're still here, Amber, you don't have to be on camera. You could totally just like hang out in the comments. What we do though is we, if anybody wants to like just go right away, we say, hey, join us live, and we'll jump you to the head of the line, because I am just like a sucker for like that connection and really getting to just like experience the person and kind of go a little bit deeper with them. So Amber, if you are still watching, you don't have to join live. You can stay in the comments. That's just, it's an option for anyone that wants to hang out or go a little bit deeper. So we're going to go to Crystal. People say I'm beautiful, yet I still struggle and can't see it. I guess I'm just wondering how to finally see it for myself. I'm going to go with this one because I feel like there's been a lot of like self-love themes coming in today. So we're just going to assume that we're definitely meant to be focusing on that. I'm going to see if I can raise this chair. It feels a little low. Sorry for my awkward, like, reaching. I don't know where the little, like, lever thing is for this chair. Well, we're just going to go with it. Maybe we'll just, like, move that down a little. Okay. Okay, so Crystal. Crystal, what I want you to do is I do want you to focus in on anyone that you want to invite in for you, whether it's guides or angels or loved ones. I just want you to invite them in and see what they want to bring through for you, because I really just see myself as a channel for those messages, and these cards are a communication tool. So I really do want it to come from them, because I feel like in the way that they're going to say it and express it is going to hold the most resonance for you. It's going to have the greatest impact and bring the most healing. So I'm going to do that as well. So I'm going to get tuned into you, Crystal L. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. I'm just going to pull a card from here. Okay. You struggle to see it, and it's self-love. Okay, so I want to bring many facets first to self-love, because I almost feel like this question is phrased with physical beauty, but there's many more facets to that. And it's almost as if the inner parts is what I'm seeing, Crystal, are affecting that outer parts, because no matter what the outer is, if we can't see that inner beauty within ourselves, we can never see it on the outside, and we have a really hard time receiving it from outside of us as well. Okay, so this really powerful card is coming through, and I really love it when she shows up for the readings. And with that, all of this head crown tingling comes in. So what I'm feeling with that is that you are very spiritually connected. I feel like you've been connected from a young age, but there was a disconnection with you that you haven't really looked at it. You haven't really fully discovered what the full potential of that connection is. But I do feel like you were very connected from a young age, which I feel like there was some, I feel like a really deep sadness with you when I connect in with things from childhood. And I feel like with you right now, I mean, it's very tied to like the divine feminine activations, but you can just see the tears coming through. They're showing me a lot of hurt, a lot of emotional hurt in your childhood years and your younger years. And so it's very connected to this, and they're showing me that so that they can give you a place to look for your healing, a place to intentionally step into the healing around the self-love, Crystal. So can you tell me if this is making sense? So I see you saying, more of my soul, my outside, I find you said. Yeah. So this Mary Magdalene, it's talking about the apostle to the apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. So this is the divine feminine energy that's stepping forward to work with you. And I know that with the divine feminine cards, they do come from all different types of religions, all different types of different like biblical studies. And so I know Mary Magdalene, her story isn't told very widely, but she has a very important story, and she kind of has this sort of like rebel nature, kind of the safety of being herself. But I feel like her story has been kind of minimized. So I would recommend looking into that energy, working with the Mary Magdalene energy based on how it resonates with you, Crystal. But what I see in terms of you finding your connection, because right now it feels it's there, but it almost feels like a little clogged or blocked. And it feels like this inner child work that I'm mentioning is a thing that is going to give you greater access to really being able to fully express that power in which you are. Because I feel like the Mary Magdalene coming in with such power and then connecting in with those emotions, it's almost like this dualistic kind of energy. And I feel like the balance comes, like really the harmony and the merging comes when you find that healing, and then you're able to find your voice. Because right now it feels like a little bit stifled. It feels like a little bit blocked. And I feel like there's things that just never make it out with you. Okay, then I'm going to go on to the next person. I have a lot of tears. I grew up young. I'm terrified of not being good enough for your child. Yeah, and it terrifies you. Yeah. And so I feel like even more so, Crystal is like doing that inner child work. I am on the journey of doing a lot of inner child work myself right now. And it's like the second cycle of it. Like I started a few years ago and then I'm like back in it, like from a different angle, from a different awareness, just integrating more and more. And I feel like it's important for me in my healing and who I am and kind of stepping into this next energy, because the more that we release and let go of those vibrations, it's like directly connected to the higher frequency energies that are able to take its place. It is massive. It is massive at really the transformation that it has in our life and our freedom and our self-expression when we do that work. And so I really can't stress that enough. And being a mom myself as well, having two little ones, I feel like we also break the cycles, we break the patterns. When we do the healing work ourselves, we really make sure that we don't repeat anything, as well as we do a lot of healing of really generational trauma, things that are carried at a really cellular level. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I hope that lands, and that there was something in there that resonated with you, something to grab onto. I always tell people, just take what you like and leave the rest. That's what I like. That's what my spiritual teacher said. Hi, Solange. So is it Kristen? Is it Kristen?
No, Amber just didn't show up, so I assume she's gone, and we don't have anyone on the list.
I see a different. Oh no. Okay, so Crystal Lily, I think, is someone that said that she might go live.
Kirsten. Yeah,
they're both KL initials that I'm seeing. So
yeah.
For if she wants to join, she could get.
Yeah, I'll give her the link.
Okay, and if you guys could share, thanks, Carl. I know that Carl shared. If there's anybody that you guys would be willing to share this with, whether you have a group that would enjoy it, or I don't know, whoever you feel like might enjoy what we're doing tonight with these business readings, share it out, and I would appreciate that. I do have my pendulum here as well, so we can do some questions in terms of like timing of things. I think I'm cool with doing that tonight. I did get the pendulum ready, but we'll see if we could get, let's see, Kristen Lilly, the other KL initial. And so we'll get you in the live, or you can drop your question in. Okay. Oh, so this Crystal was saying, I also feel connected with Lilith, which I also think is a connection with Mary. Makes some sense. Thank you. Yeah, like honestly, I feel like Lilith is like another one of like the misunderstood kind of biblical energies, because I feel like the feminine, anything like in terms of the female stories, I feel like were really, they were told by men and not by the women. And so also really powerful imagery. Lilith, for anybody that isn't familiar, at least in this version that I'm holding it in, that it's saying that Lilith was the first woman that was made for Adam, and that she wasn't submissive enough, that she wouldn't submit, and so she took off, and that then God made Eve, who was like a more submissive, like calm woman, a 50s housewife of then kind of woman. And so, yeah, I would agree. I feel like the Mary Magdalene energy is totally tied in with that. Okay, so we will hop on with anybody who is ready next. So whether that's Crystal, and I think I'll just give you guys a little breakdown of some of the energies that are going on right now while we're getting the next person lined up. So it is the first day of autumn. It is the autumn equinox. And so I do want you guys as well to just kind of get tuned into the energies that happen with the seasons, energies happen with the cycles of the moon, and we are a part of nature, so we are also very influenced by those energies and by those cycles. And if you understand them and how they impact you, it makes flow and finding your flow in business a lot easier. And so I will say that autumn is very much of the yin, the feminine energy. And so right now, as we're moving into a new season, it's a really good time to purge, whether that's energetically, actual physical things, anything that you don't want to take with you into a new cycle. But it is very much a time of coming out of this period of action and the masculine energy of the spring and summer. It's a time of really reaping what you your harvest, what you've been working for, the manifestations. Really a time to appreciate and have a lot of gratitude around those things. So that is the energetics of fall and how they're really lending themselves. It does not mean that you come to like a complete standstill. It's really just knowing that, hey, it's going to be having you turn a little bit more inward, and it's going to feel different, even with things getting darker, earlier, that sometimes that has an impact on how we're feeling or what types of activities we like to be doing. And then with the phase of the moon that we're in right now, it's also a very feminine energy. So just know that we are in a stage of like gathering inspiration, gathering a lot of inspiration in our business of what we're going to do next, in really putting things into kind of a preparatory kind of stage of preparing ourselves, of preparing what needs to happen. And then we're starting to go in next week into the energies of taking creative action to bring balance to all of this. So just wanted to share that with you guys. I saw somebody pop in backstage, and then I feel like we sort of like, we lost them. But if that was you, I didn't catch whose name it was. You'll be put, if you join through the link that Solange is sharing, you'll be put into this like virtual like backstage kind of area, and it is it will pull you into the stream. We'll give you a heads up, but you won't be live, but we can kind of like, we can see you and then we'll pull you in. So that's what'll happen if you click the link. So yeah, we are ready. It's a quieter evening tonight. So if anybody wants to type in what their question is around their business, otherwise I might go up to Amber and I could just let her know. Why don't we do that? I'm going to do Amber's question. So in the meantime, anybody that's watching or popping in, just go ahead and let me know. And I'm going to do Amber's question, and then we'll let her know that she could watch it about halfway through. Okay. Oh, where's her? Usually I want people to be live, but if we have space, we have space. Okay. So let's just see. Next launch, DIY brand school. Yeah. Okay. And I saw Jennifer popping up. Okay. Okay. So Amber, what I'm seeing for you with the DIY brand school is this Chariot card, Archangel Metatron. And so it's talking about important achievement, self-discipline, willpower, public recognition. What I'm connecting with for you is letting go of your concept of time and anything related to the past in terms of how that might inform what you would think this would do, or like it feels like it's important to step into this with an entirely new energy, that this seems like it has a possibility to be like unlike anything else. So I almost feel like the way that you're approaching this launch feels different than anything that you've ever done before. The Holy Mountain card is coming in, so I do feel like it feels like I get a lot of chills with that as well. There's been a lot of like deep inner spiritual work to get you to this point, because I think that it doesn't seem like something that it seems like you found it in your flow, that you've been doing a lot of inner work, that you've been in like a lot of meditation, conversation with spirit, and it does very much feel like it came through them as a result of that inner work. But they're really pointing you to approach this launch very differently, because there's a big part of you that's different than what you've done before, as well as they're telling you to not carry over any kind of energies or like attachments or even certain expectations with it. That it's almost as if like I feel like we unconsciously do this. We almost like see the results of something, and we try to almost just be incrementally better than the last time, or feel like, oh, if this one was like this is what I expect. But they're just saying like, hey, let's like scrap all of that. Like, let's really look at this from a new place. And that I feel like there's going to be different things, almost like numerology, that gets involved with like numbers and being very intentional about what you launch when. So that's what I'm getting for you. And then awesome. Let me know how that lands. So I see Jennifer in the backstage area. I'm going to pull you in, Jennifer. If you could make sure you have headphones on, and it's up to you. You can just be audio only if you want. You are muted right now, so you would just have to unmute yourself. But say hello when you're on. Jennifer, are you there? You are muted.
Yeah, sorry. I was just putting on my headphones because I think that there might be some sound from my background that you guys can hear.
No worries. Thank you for the headphones. So what do you want to do a reading on?
I'm actually in a very kind of confused place at the moment. In my business for the past year or two prior to COVID, there was a lot of inbound. A lot of people were just telling me, oh yeah, I had plenty of work to do. And now because of COVID, everything has slowed down. I'm in advertising. I'm not selling advertising, but I'm more convincing clients how to use their money. And I'm finding a blockage right now in reaching out to them, or even if it's a good idea for them, having the not even self-esteem. It's just this weird blockage that I feel like I have right now when it comes to discussing business. Those kinds of things.
Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling some things already. Yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you intend to invite anybody in that you'd like to the reading, whether it's angels or guides or anybody that you might work with on your spirit team, so to speak. And I'm going to tune in to you. I feel like there's some things that are already coming as you're talking, but let's just hold that silence for just a moment. I'll get tuned in. Okay. Okay. So what they started to show me, Jennifer, like I feel like it's like coming as you're talking, and it's that you have really changed a lot, and that like what used to be the way, like there's nothing wrong. It's just that it doesn't feel like you anymore, like because something big inside of you has changed, and it's not that you can't even do the actual product or the thing that you're doing with the advertising. I feel like there's sort of a slightly different like approach or a way. And I think that that's still wanting to be found. And it's interesting because this hunter card came in like upside down, meaning that for you, like that you don't want to feel that way. that way is almost sort of like a commonly kind of held way, I feel like, in terms of like sales and people. And it's showing that there's something in you that's sort of like pushing that away. It feels like it's almost like a values clash. And I feel like there's just like another piece that wants to get clicked into place so that you can feel back in your flow again when you're talking to people, because you found your new way that feels authentic for who you are now. How is this landing so far?
Yes, there's definitely a new me. Exactly. I am missing some piece here, and I just don't even know the words for it, which is why I'm expecting the angels and everything would kind of help spit out what it is. To help. It does make sense.
Sorry, I was just pulling a couple other cards. What's the part that makes sense?
That things have changed. It took me a long time to realize how much things had changed, not just with COVID, But kind of just taking a look back at the past year, even prior to COVID, and where I was a year ago and where I am now. And things are very, very different. So maybe part of this is also me trying to find stabilizing my footing through all of this. Because I tried to start the year more focused on business, and then COVID happened. So it's just been this, and I don't even know how to describe it. I'm being constantly rejected, and prior to this, I wasn't being rejected as much.
Yeah. And so one of the things that and thank you for sharing that, I feel like with everybody right now with COVID, everyone kind of has slightly different challenges. And if we hold the perspective that they're coming in for a specific reason to kind of build something up in us, and that it's really happening for us and not to us, that I feel like that is really the key. Because right now what I feel you doing is sort of like kind of pushing against it, and rather than surrendering to it. And I say surrender in like a spiritual surrender way of sort of like, okay, I see this, I feel this, like what's here for me. What am I noticing? What's the inner critic start to say when this happens? Like, and I feel like when you follow that path, that there is something deeper there in terms of like like a nugget of wisdom that's going to come out of this that really leads you to, I feel like, up level to the next cycle. And you need that piece. It's sort of like, it feels like you can't continue, and they're sort of going to like hold you there until you can get that piece. So I would say journaling, like with a lot of curiosity, like holding that with a lot of lightness and almost a bit of humor so that you can look at it, because otherwise it can feel like a really challenging place to be. But if you do have that natural ability to get really curious and to just be like, that's so interesting. Why am I feeling that? What is this? Where do I feel it in my body when this happens? Like, I do feel like you can follow your breadcrumb trail. And it's not that you have to fully dissect it and understand it, but it's sort of like as soon as you gain the awareness and you bring the light to it, then it really just alchemizes all of it. That's really what I'm seeing with that specifically. Or working with a coach. I mean, that's like coaching at its best in terms of having somebody hold up a mirror for you and ask you questions and be your thought partner and point out little things that slip out of your mouth, or energies that pop up. Like, I feel like those are some pathways for it. And not to say those are the only things, but those are some things that I would really say for you. I do feel like you have that healer inside of you. And I think as well that like, with everything that's changing, even vibrationally, like the vibrations of our planet are changing, there's a part of you that also I feel like needs to be really connected to like your why and to your purpose. And it feels like it has changed. Like, and I think that you're almost thinking about things in a deeper way, and you really do have to, I feel like, maybe build a different relationship with that, with how you're thinking about it and what you're doing. And I also feel like that's like the resilience factor for you. So those are the two places that I would really point to you. How's that landing? How's that feeling when you take it in?
It feels positive. It feels like something that I can sit down and journal about. I oftentimes find that when I do sit down to journal, I am like, what do I write about? I mean, but having why and purpose can maybe it will give me direction into seeing what comes out. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Thanks, Jennifer. I do have a group. Are you in my group?
No, I just found out about you from Cat Ease.
Oh, cool. Yeah, my group is called How to Make Money Being Magical. It's basically like, how do we be ourselves and sort of do the things that we love and enjoy and be like a point of attraction and make money in a place of flow. So, yeah, like I'll have Solange put it in the comments. We're doing an intuition challenge right now, which you might like, which is like really about tuning in and trusting intuition we receive for ourselves. So maybe you might like it. Maybe you might like it. But thanks, Jennifer, for joining.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Bye. All right. So we are dropping a link right now. If anybody wants to join the group, I do challenges there. Basically just like daily little things. So that's the one we have going on right now. In the unit section, since there's a lot of content in that group, there is a manifestation challenge that we did for summer. So check it out. We're just on day 1 today of the intuition challenge. So perfect timing if you guys could really use just like a little bit of time to connect inward. And as we're going into this new autumn season, that you can really step into it with the energies that serve you and like let go of anything that doesn't. We'll be really talking about energetically, how do you tune in and line up with being able to receive information for yourself, as well as how do you trust it? Because I feel like there's a lot of people that are very intuitive for everyone else, but when it comes to them, they have a really hard time trusting it, which is why readings are great, because when we hear somebody confirm something that we were already thinking, that our gut was already leaning to, then we're like, oh, it's a sign, it's confirmation. So readings are great for that. I love getting readings from other people. So yes, I am ready for whoever would like to go next, or I'll just keep talking to you guys about stuff if there's no one raising their hand for a reading. We will do a little bit of readings, I feel like. Let's do it for the week in business, the week ahead. We talked a little bit about seasonal energies. So, and then anyone who's ready, just drop it in the comments or you can join live through that link. Okay, so right now, this is just energy of business in general. There's eagle energy. So what I'm really feeling with that is it's important to zoom out. Whatever you feel like you're feeling like really blocked or frustrated with, like it's because you're looking at it like this with like a horse with blinders on. And so I really want you to zoom out and see something from really like a bird's eye view perspective, because you're going to see different patterns, you're going to connect different pieces, you're going to have different awareness and clarity, and you're going to feel a lot different as well. So look for the thing that's causing a lot of frustration and stuckness, and that's where you want to zoom out. The Knight of Earth card is also coming in. Again, this is just energies that are here, that anyone that comes across it might be feeling or benefiting from knowing about for this week. The Knight of Earth, which has to do with manifestation. So it's talking about taking time to buckle down, get things done, honor commitments, guardian angel. So that really signals to me that there are some projects or things that have been left open-ended that you want to really start to move on, because it feels like there's a sense of both the timing and the energy that's going to carry it and sort of make it a bit more in flow, which is interesting because we were talking about even the lunar cycle starting to get into a place of creative action in the next week. So yeah, really take a look at that. So the energy this week is zooming out, really seeing like a full 360 view in any place that you're feeling stuck or any place that you're feeling frustrated. And then really identifying what I'm feeling is like honing in on one specific project, rather than, I know sometimes it's sort of like, you're like a little all over the place is sort of what it feels like, that it's honing in on one and making significant movement on that. So with that, we might end early if there's nobody here. I'll tell you guys about a few other things going on. But yeah, this is sort of like last call for anybody that wants to do a reading, whether you stay in the comments or join live. Drop your question in. That's like your hand raise. Hi, Claire. Would you like to do a reading next, Claire? Put your question in. We're doing business readings tonight. So that would be anything related to business, career, purpose, money. Those are the things that we're going to be tuning into. We'll do a quick little mini reading. What's your question? Yeah. Your name is really cool, Claire. So, yes. So Claire, as I wait for your question, what I'd love for you to do is get tuned in to, well, I'm going to get tuned in. I want you to invite any guides, angels, any loved ones, anybody that you'd want from your spirit team to show up, Claire. So how about this, Claire? I'm just going to pull through a random message. See, I told you, I know that those love tarot readings are like, everybody wants to hear about love. We'll just hear. We did do a self-love, to be fair, earlier. I'm just going to see what comes through. One thing that I feel like people don't like, I guess it's a lesser known fact about like, you know, people that do tarot or psychics or mediums is that certain people have strengths in certain areas. And so a lot of it has to do with whatever people's background is. It's sort of like they're tuned to that energy. So we'll do a general reading, Claire. We'll just see what comes and if it's related, if there's a message in there related to love that fits for you, but we'll just do sort of a general card for you. But yeah, so there was a story that my spiritual teacher would tell about like a former mailman who was like now a tarot reader and a psychic, and that he had a specific like way of like seeing people's like names and addresses and locations of things because his mind worked and was really tuned and he understood things in that way. So because my background as a business coach and also as a recruiter, that was my business before I was a coach, I tend to have this specific energetic attunement with my intuition and my psychic abilities that is connected to like career, business purpose. Sometimes love shows up, just like how sometimes a loved one shows up. And even though I don't consider myself to be a medium, sometimes you're just open and whatever comes through, comes through. So we're going to pull just generally. So Claire, it's the 6 of Earth card that's coming up. It's talking about gifts of time, money, or effort, new career opportunities, paying off any debts. So that this is related to money. This one is a 2 of Fire. It's talking about you've come into your own new partnership or contracts and continuing to move forward. I pulled a second one as well, just because I felt like this is there. But okay, so what I'm feeling, first off, like I feel like while it's almost as if the anxiety is being attached to the love relationship stuff, but I do really want you to look at things in terms of like money and finances. I feel like there might be some things that have been nothing bad. It just feels like it kind of needs your attention. Like it needs a little bit more of you kind of looking at it and feeling comfortable in it, because it's almost as if like anxiety in that part of the life is transferring over into other relationships, and you don't want to not realize that and sort of mix it in, because it's like if you have an anxious like heart and soul in that category, then everything you look at, you bring that too. And so they're showing me that so that you can separate it and kind of, again, we talked about that 360 view, take a step back and really see that, because I feel like that's really the thing that's at the root of it. And that if you don't address what's at the root and you just sort of put a Band-Aid on it, then nothing ever really changes. So please, does that make sense, first off, of how I'm describing that energetic relationship and how I'm seeing it as the root? And then this 2 of Fire of you coming into your own. So it's almost as if like what I'm feeling is that somebody is sort of ahead of the other. It's sort of as if like it talking about this partnership. So whether that means love to you or something else, it feels like there's somebody else that is further ahead on that journey than the other, and that the other person like kind of needs a little bit of time to catch up, so to speak. Would that make sense for you, Claire? And so it's also saying, I'm just feeling that you just really need to get a little bit more grounded And that if you look at the other anxiety stuff, it's going to have you be, it feels like you're the one that might be a little ahead. Does that make sense as well? Talk to me, girl. We're pulling your cards with, and it's magically happened. Look, you manifested a card related to love. So tell me, now I'm like, does this make sense? Is this you? Is this your partner? Yeah. So I feel like they're sort of having a little bit of lightness and fun with you. They're pointing you to wanting to laugh as well. I feel like that's why we had our goofy moment. Oh, so yeah, I feel like there's something there for you, right? Like it's talking about new partnerships continuing to move forward. So maybe it might be that the other partner is a little bit more ahead. It feels like that continue to move forward. Take what you will of it, but like just know that I feel like you need to address energy in that other part of life for you to feel really grounded in what's coming through for you. They're just like telling you to address that, clear that, and that sort of gives you a clean, like blank slate to make kind of choices from, to get clear on yourself, to bring the right energy to it. Okay, great. Okay, well, I'm glad that you got what you were looking for through that message. So we probably have time for another quick mini reading or two if there's anybody else that's sort of like watching in the sidelines, sort of wanting to step forward but hasn't. It's helping your spirituality. Good. I wonder if it's like a twin flame connection, because I feel like there's a lot of that happening right now. Hi, Michelle. Yes, we'll do Michelle next. So Michelle, drop your question in. And I will say, if there's anybody that wants to go deeper, I have a link that Solange could share. And so I do, I just started offering actually readings that are 3 questions about your business. And what I do is I record a 20 to 30 minute video so that you don't have to worry about like being, ready to be like on a Zoom or scheduled in your already busy schedule. So it's $88 for that. And you get your customized 20 to 30 minute like video with your 3 questions. And Solange she'll drop that in. I have 4 spots left available for this week. And I want to say that's like through the next few weeks as well, until like early October. And I also take photos of the cards because I feel like sometimes on camera it's like really quick. So I actually give you photos so that you can look close up and see all your different images. If you have any questions about that, this is my email, and Solange could drop that as well. Ashley@ashleyandbradley.com. Okay, so let's see what we have for Michelle. A general one. Yes. What's next or in store? Okay, so Michelle, you know the drill for this. So what I want you to do is invite your spirit team in, and I'm going to tune to you, and we'll pull our card, okay? Okay. So they're bringing me to your body. Like my sense is sort of like there's like a need to, I don't know if you did like yoga before, but I feel like when my shoulders dropped like in yoga, that it's kind of like a sense of like releasing these like pent up energies from the body. And I feel like it's like something as well for you in terms of like finding your flow. So I feel like that's important. But what I'm getting is that you're at a completion stage right now. So Michelle, like there's going to be things that are ending. Some of them feel like somewhat abrupt, but it's more about knowing that a new cycle, a better cycle, a bigger cycle is coming, and that there's some things that have to be cleared away. And it feels like it's on a few, they're showing me like different levels. So I'm seeing that as in like different categories of life. Like it's a little bit like someone in business, I feel like that's already sort of like started, but I feel like it's kind of happening in other parts of life as well. So Yeah, let me know how that lands. But it's good. I mean, it's very much like it's a part of your up level right now. But sometimes up leveling is really fucking uncomfortable, isn't it? Thanks, Claire. I appreciate it. Hi, B. See, I know whenever we do like loved ones, our love readings, we always attract more. B, here's what we're doing. Career and business and money or purpose. Is there a different question to get tuned to? So Michelle decided to move on with a business part. Okay, so sort of move forward. Ah, okay. Well, it feels like they're acknowledging that and sort of giving you the thumbs up. I bet you followed your intuition on that. So good job, girl. So we have time for one more. Like we can either do B if you do a different kind of question, or somebody else. But no more love questions, guys. I feel like I have my wisdom that I'm pulling through here, but I don't really feel like I'm your girl so much in terms of doing love readings. No love readings, B. The other one was a general reading. I'll do a general reading for you. And if love comes in, so be it. But we're not going to do love questions. That's not my magic. What else? I am gathering a circle of women specifically that want to combine elements of like ritual and ceremony, flow, intention, manifestation, with really having like a sense of, I want to call it like manifesting like strategy and harmony, like all together. So I really bring business and spirituality together. And if anybody wants to join a circle of women that are also very purposeful, very intentional with how they're growing their business, and they are wanting to really tune in to the power of like intending for others, because when we hold intentions for someone else to be successful, it's like we basically get the energy as well. It's like you can't like just intend positively for somebody else and then not absorb that. And so what we're really doing in this circle as well, of doing a lot of the, kind of teachings around getting clients, the courage building of going live, is making it easier. It's easier for us to see somebody else's magic and to see them being successful, but then we're getting the energy and frequency of that as well. So it ends up working out very well. So I have my email in the comments. I'll have Solange drop it in. If anybody is curious about joining that business circle, it's called My Business and Flow Circle for Women, then drop me a note through email and we can see if that feels good for you. Okay, hi Tony. Thanks, Tony. I know you were here last week, so let's do one more reading. Is it going to be Tony? Is it going to be B? I need some kind of question related to business, or it could be career. We could do purpose, money, something in that category. Is it going to be B, Tony? I'm waiting. Okay. Well, we'll give it sort of last call here for a question. Last call for a question, and I do have my group, everybody. We have the intuition challenge that is happening right now. It's called How to Make Money Being Magical. It is really the divine feminine, focusing on the divine feminine in business, because business has been very over masculinized, which is why a lot of us, some men included, are not really like feeling like it feels good. And so we balance out with the divine feminine energies in business and really just kind of help share how you really get to build a business? How do you tune into your business? It just feels like you show up and be you, and people pay you with money, and because that's really what we're all here to do. Okay. Well, that's okay. If you see you working in a career, okay. I just read the other part of you being a stay-at-home mom, and I was like, that's okay. Like, you can still have a reading. Like, you still have a strong purpose with that. Okay, so you want to, if I see you working in a career. Yeah. I feel like what it feels like for you is that it has to be like a compelling enough thing. Like, it has to be something that it feeds you, it nourishes you, and it's something that gives you energy. If you are to do it, like, that's really important. Like, I wouldn't just go out, Tony, and see you doing anything like a random MLM that's like just related to money if your like heart is not fully in it, because that's not the thing that I see. So it's interesting. I did pull this yoga card talking about your life is enhanced by yoga, stretching, and exercising. And so I almost see for you, not necessarily like don't go just signing up for your yoga teacher training already, but what I see as being important is that it feels more about like connection in with the body. It feels definitely a little bit more, I'm almost feeling like meditation. Like, I don't know if you've made meditations. I remember last week I have a flash of you talking about listening to maybe certain kind of meditations or some kind of music. But like, I guess I'm almost like wondering if, because it feels like that kind of energy of like, kind of like how they would talk in yoga. Like, it sounds very similar to how they would talk in meditation. And so it seems like it's something like almost like maybe that I could see you do related to like that kind of stuff of using your voice and sort of like having sort of this impact on people just by how you like talk to them. So you used to be a massage therapist, you worked in cafes, you love children, thinking about going back to study. Yeah, I guess I'm just like, yeah, I feel like the yoga for you, Tony, is just more that it's like your connection to the body and the energetic healing systems. And so I just, when anything revolving like energy and the body, it's sort of like the body, but held in kind of a more like spiritual sense of it as like the vessel for the soul. Oh, I got a career change card for you. So it's talking about you embarking on a career that brings you joy and abundance and the desire that you deserve. Right now, I would say like anything involving like purpose kind of coming into more focus, Tony, is like about taking like little steps at a time, that you don't have to just, because sometimes I feel like people get a nudge and they sort of like jump headfirst into something. I was kind of like that, I'll be honest, like, but it worked. But what I also see in terms of purpose is like that for the next thing to be revealed, sometimes you just have to take a step. You have to try different things, and that, like based on how it feels for you in your body and in your soul when you're doing it, then you basically like start to know like when you're getting close and you're just like, oh, well, I really liked this element of this, but I think I would do it like without people this time. What else can I get this kind of feeling? And so for you, I feel like it's just like knowing those things. I feel like that's your starting place. And it is about the journey. I think sometimes we just like want to know, but you're going to acquire a lot of self-knowledge and a lot of wisdom on that journey. So you taking that journey is really important. But yeah, like I feel like some good things came in for you. It makes sense. Okay. Dance in your home to music. You love working with people. Yeah. So just, I feel like, Tony, just start picking those steps. And then it's sort of like that car with headlights. That's a really good metaphor for it, is like, we know like this much. And then when you move forward, then that next bit is revealed to you. And that's really how it comes together. And I always see purpose like a river. It's sort of like as we change, like the journey of it, it's like never the same. It doesn't stay stagnant because we're evolving and we have deeper senses of being evolved. And my purpose, like since I became really like aware of that 5 years ago when I started my business, it constantly evolves and I have deeper understanding and it informs how I show up and what I do and what I offer. So yeah, you can see I get really excited. You guys like, I was talking about purpose, right? I get excited about it. So yeah, that's my group at the bottom. We're going to wrap up for today. How to make money being magical. Join me in there if you would like to start a business, if you have a business. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bye, everybody.